Hello everybody and welcome to Secret of Mana Randomizer Weekly Seed number 170. Today we've got a matchup between LuckwurstJoe and NeoKenshin. Let's see, we are starting off with the girl. And we're starting off in the Elder's house, which means the Flammie Drum needs to be found in Logic. Let's see what weapon we start with. Before we get to the rest of the settings, we're starting with the Javelin. Okay. And we're going to head downstairs and crack open this first chest. Ooh, a Javelin orb. All right, an orb for the weapon itself. As you can see, the runners are not talking to the Elder, and that means that the hints are disabled for this run. Luckwurst coming in and making a save real quick. Probably going to fight this boss first, while Neo instead taking his starting allowance and going and buying some candy. So while everything is getting underway, once we get to kind of a stable place in without so much chaos going on, we can read the rest of the settings. Joe also picking up some candies. Get ready for his fight against the Mantis Ant. Yeah, he's going to drop down and do that, while Neo is instead blasting off to the Upperland Forest. So Joe dropping in, and the first boss that he is fighting is Kilroy. And dealing some decent damage here. I mean, it's not great. It's single digit, but it's something. At least this is a nice boss to get out of the way. So Neo dropping into the Upperland. Ooh, a good crit there. Let's see what the rest of their settings are while this is all going on. Joe now getting into the second phase of this fight. We've got normal difficulty. We're finding the Flammie Drum in Logic. We are matching player level. As we level up, the enemies will level up at the same rate. The bosses and enemies are swapped. We're starting with the girl. We're finding both characters at current level, so the allies that we find will be raring to go at the same level. Joe takes down Kilroy. We'll see if he decides to save the drops. Neo picking up 2 axe orbs in the Upperland. And let's see if Joe decides to keep these rewards here. A sword orb and a light seed. Okay. So yes, he's keeping that, even though the light seed is not needed to complete the game, necessarily. It may be something, turning the light seed to get something that is required to complete the game. It is not the goal of the game. We've got a vanilla long, so that means the runners have to get enough, the right elementals together, complete the Grand Palace, the Mana Palace, and in order to unlock the Mana Fortress, and they go to the Mana Fortress, go through it, and beat the Mana Beast at the end. So now we've got our runners kind of swapping. Neo coming back to the Potos area, but not going into Potos to fight the Mantis Ant boss, and Joe dropping down now into the Upperland. Let's see what else we got. All the roles are the same, or rather, the roles are all vanilla. The boy, the girl, and the sprite are all themselves. Starting with 300 gold, we saw that earlier. Neo is on his way now to Pandora. Joe on his way to pick up these 2 axe orbs. I'll go ahead and mark that for him, and we'll keep looking at the settings. Chest drop frequency, none. So the enemies not dropping chests, only giving gold and experience. Let's see, weapons are random, shops are random, hints disabled, status ailments enemy type, which means that the enemies on screen will have the status effects that they normally have, and not the locational, not like, oh, well, like normally in the place of where a red slime would be if some swapped enemy were there, it would be able to light you on fire. Instead, just the enemies are themselves. So Neo bought some stuff here, possibly didn't. Went into the shop. I didn't see if he actually purchased anything. He is going to make a save and a heal here in Pandora. And Joe is coming back to Guy's Navel. All right. Well, Neo is instead opting to walk. Oh, okay. So Neo is full sending it just like into the Pandora ruins to go fight Wallface. And Joe is now dropping down into Guy's Navel, going to Dwarf Village. Yeah, that should be all of the settings. Let's see what kind of weapon we have here. Joe's going to show us what the thunder damage, and it increases agility, so extra dodge. And 800 bucks from Watts, very nice. And Joe will turn that back around and give him a quarter of that back to upgrade his javelin and see what we get. It's a light trident. Okay, so keeping the agility and moving from thunder to stone damage, which is nice, and also just increasing the damage, going from a level 1 to a level 2 weapon, or 0 to 1, however you want to count it. Another 1,000 gold from the Elder. Wow, everybody's just handing out money, which is nice to have at the beginning of the seed. Go ahead and buy armor that you come across. Joe also picking up Shade and fighting. Okay, so here's the other robot. Joe fighting the robots back to back. This is Kettlekin, which is the boss that you fight near the end of the game after the Undersea Palace. And Lucid Barrier being annoying, but Joe getting that upgraded javelin before fighting this boss is going to make things a lot easier, a lot faster, which is nice. Neo now dropping in. Let's see what boss we have here at Wallface today. It is a Wind Dragon. Okay, not great since Neo still has that level 1 javelin and it does thunder damage, so he is dealing like damage. If he had gotten his javelin leveled up, he would actually be dealing bonus damage against it. Since this boss is a Sylphid boss, gnome damage would be doing extra damage against it. So he's got if he commits to this, he's got a long fight ahead of him, hitting for single digits against this already annoying boss to deal with. So he's in it for the long haul. An Axe Orb, and there's the Sprite. Okay, so a find of a character already with the sword. All right, so we have a cutting weapon for Joe. An excellent find, and also a weapon that has an orb available. Also another character that you can cast with. Finding the Sprite and Shade back to back. Incredible. Neo getting moogled and deciding to scarf down a radish. Joe is going to fight the Tropicalo boss. Let's see what we've got here. It is the Mantis Ant. Okay, this should be a pretty quick fight as well. He has Shade, which he can level up to level 1. Doesn't have any armor, though, so that's not great. He really needs to come out of that and start throwing Shade ASAP, if he remembers that he has it. Neo doing a reset, realizes he is not doing a whole lot of damage. Oh, quickly, before the Sprite dies, use up all the magic. Yeah, Neo does a reset and goes back to his hard save. And yeah, is abandoning this thread. I think Joe has forgotten that he also picked up Shade in picking up the Sprite underground. So yeah, Neo is leaving Pandora and is headed back towards the Potos area. Let's see what he decides to do. Yeah, Joe having a really tough fight. Has plenty of candy, though, so, and is consistently dealing damage. Neo gets knocked out and then rudely woken up by a mushboom on his way to, it looks like, the Water Palace. Oh, the Sprite almost dead, and Joe still hasn't used any of the Sprite's mana. I think he's just forgotten that he picked up Shade right before picking up the Sprite. Yeah, Neo taking the teleporter and then roping back to the... There it is! Okay, Joe has now opened up his menu and gone, oh, right, I have this. So he's going to start spamming... 80 damage. Nice. And he can get off... At least, he can choose to cast... either one more time at level 0 or cast twice at... Dispel Magic twice in order to get it leveled up to level 1 and do a single level 1 cast, but he's just gonna go all out. I don't know if the Sprite has gained... Oh, never mind, the Sprite has gained another MP this low level, so Shade is now level 1, and this should do the Mantis Ant in, yes. Alright. So, boss goes down, Neo is now spiraling down into the heart of Gaia's navel. Let's see if this boss fight was worth it, while Neo is about to come here and get some good drops if he decides to fight the bosses. I don't see why not. Alright, Javelin Orb, nothing, and Glove Orb Is Joe going to keep that? He's going to keep the Javelin Orb? He is. So Javelin Orb, Glove Orb. And let's see what this orb is here. It is Lumina. Neo doing the same thing, getting his spending money from Watts and turning around and immediately spending it to upgrade his Javelin, which is a good call. And he's very excited to see that Earth, the stone damage. Joe now leaving the Dwarf Village to the south and headed through the caves to get the last freebie at the magic rope chest. Neo not bothering to, and neither of them really bothering to check the shop here in Dwarf Village. Neo is going to check the Earth Palace orb and see that it is Lumina. All right, let's see what this freebie is here. It is more money. Oh my gosh. So we got, what was it? 800 gold, 1,000 from Watts, 1,000 gold from the Elder. And then 1,600 gold there from the chest. Dang. Neo not fighting either of the bosses. I mean, how can you know? But I mean, you only have so much that you have available at the beginning of the game. Not fighting the bosses when you don't start with the Flammie Drum. You know, go ahead and do the things that you have access to. 3,600 gold for Joe, and he is on his way to Pandora. Neo now picking up that extra money from that chest as well, so he's picked up a lot of money from freebies. Neo also didn't drop in to get the chest. Maybe he was just going to get that chest first before deciding to go back and fight the bosses, because he didn't drop in and get the chest in the Scorpion Army ship underground. So yeah, I think he was just checking all of his freebies before deciding to fight any bosses. Yeah, here we go. So now he's dropping in. He's about to pick up Shade, and hopefully he decides to fight some bosses. I mean, there's not much. Yeah, okay. So he should have an easy fight against Kettlekin. So Joe has now come to Pandora and is on his way south. Oh, wait. Is he looking for the shop? Or no, he's just going he's just looking for the proper exit to the south. There we go. Yeah, so Joe is on his way to the Pandora ruins. He's going to fight Wallface, and we'll have a much better time than Neo's first bout against the Wind Dragon that is stationed there, having a stone javelin, as well as being able to get 3 level 1 casts of Shade off against the dragon, will speed up the fight drastically. And we'll probably see Neo, as soon as he, you know, gets the Sprite here, well, we'll double back to the same thing. All right, and Kettlekin goes down for Neo. He will be picking up the Sprite and the sword. Oh, my bad. Yeah, he'll get an Axe Orb as well as the Sprite and the sword. Can't forget that extra Axe Orb. The Sword of Kings, agility and dryad damage. Okay. Alright, Joe, making it through the ruins, gets to the boss, sees it's a Wind Dragon, and immediately goes, well, you're getting 3 dark forces to the face, and we'll see how you feel after that. And then you may be catching some stone javelins. Only doing 2 casts, okay. Decent damage. Going ahead and throwing the last one. And 25 damage from that javelin throw. Neo now starting his fight against the Mantis Ant. We'll see if he also remembers that he has, yes. Now, one thing that he has not done, he has not picked up the Light Seed, because he did not fight Kilroy at Mantis Ant. But still 3 level 0 Dark Force casts. Or, oh no, he is at a lower level. He is 1 level lower than Joe was when doing this fight, so he only gets 2 casts. So he's going to go ahead and cast Dispel Magic just to do it. I mean, it's still, like, what is that, about 160 damage just from those 2 casts, and he has plenty of candy. I think he'll survive this fight just fine. The sword's doing some good damage, yeah. he shouldn't have anything to worry about. Joe, on the other hand, loses the Sprite, which is unfortunate because the Sprite just dealt out so much damage. But neither runner has spent their glorious riches that they have been bequeathed on any armor yet. So Joe's just kind of taking damage from the dragon. Let's see if Neo decides to keep... It's a glove orb and a sword orb, I believe. No, glove and javelin. Let's see if he decides to keep this. He does. No reset. All right, but Joe is successful in taking down the dragon, and that will open up a lot of checks. At the treasury room, Neo coming into the inn to make a save and get magic back and everything like that. We'll see if he decides to go to the shop. Joe picks up a spear orb and a sword orb. All right, another orb for a weapon that he has on hand. And now that will allow him access to the second shop in Pandora, as well as going and talking to the girl, which you can do for free, but, you know, try and sync it up with the time that you would normally unlock the treasure room, and then the 6 treasures. All right, let's see what we got here in the shop. Some expensive stuff. Oh, power wrist. Ooh boy. Get excited for the power wrist. +5 strength. And also loading back up on consumables. All right, Neo spirals back out of Guy's navel. And will probably, now with his newfound Sprite, head back to Pandora. Let's see where he decides to shoot to. Yep. And Joe's headed into the castle to get his 7 checks that are waiting for him there. Yeah, so a little bit of extra defense for Joe's characters, but also the big thing is +5 strength, extra physical damage. All right, the girl has a spear orb. And let's watch what else Joe picks up out of the treasury room here. Another spear orb. The wind seed. Can go ahead and turn that in right now. There's the boy! Oh, boy. A bow orb. Gnome, great find, and a sword orb. So the boy is also going to have a weapon on him that we will see in a second. The axe! Okay, so we found both cutting weapons. So we're looking for the whip and then any type of elementals to get through. But getting Gnome and another seed means that we have speed up. It means that we have, an extra element to throw at bosses, but also allowing Shade to get stronger. We also have the sword and all 3 characters now, so if we find Dryad magic, that is something that we can use to fight Flammie. But even if we don't, we have Shade. So, yeah, everything is looking good. Now it's just to find the rest of the elements, and the Flammie Drum, and the whip. All right, Neo makes it through the maze of the ruins, and Joe has come back to Potos. I think he's making a save, and he's gonna go back to the river to see what is at the sword pedestal. All right, Neo, dropping back in, cracking his knuckles, thinking, I'm ready for you this time. I've got a stone javelin. I've got a Sprite with level 1, or soon to be level 1, Dark Force. Or no, never mind. He doesn't have a seed yet. Right. He hasn't fought the Mantis Ant, so he just has level 0. But still, it's something. Also, still no armor. Oh, these turtle lances are really giving Joe some trouble here. He is getting just bottlenecked here, trying to get through the forest. Oh, taking some big hits. Hopefully, this is nothing. And then he can just reset and get all of his health back. But he's almost lost 2 characters just trying to get through the turtles. The forest full of turtles. All right. And now Neo is down to just throwing javelins and healing up. What have we got here? It is a boomerang orb. All right. And that is worth a reset. Yep, there it is. Okay. So, that'll get Joe's characters back to Potos and back to full health, and he can take off from there, go somewhere else. Let's see. He can go turn in the Wind Seed. He can go to... he hasn't checked the Orbit Upperland Forest yet. He could go to... Oh, what is it called? My brain has stopped. He can go to Undine Cave. He could go to LNA's. Since he has the axe, he can cut down the barrier. So there's a lot open to him right now. Yeah, so he is headed to the Water Palace. Let's see. I guess that means, I mean, with everything that he has right now, that means that he is going to be going to Undine Cave. Neo healing up, continuing his fight against the Wind Dragon. Round 2, making it personal. All right, what boss do we have here? It's a snake! All right, well, Gnome is not going to be helpful, but level 1 Shade right now, which can level up. Oh, my bad. No, Gnome is extremely helpful. I'm thinking the exact opposite. It is... No. I'm losing my mind. I was right the first time. Shut up. Gnome is what the snake casts. I don't know. I was so right, and then I was just like, I second-guessed myself. I think it's because Joe was so confident about casting Gnome. I was like, oh, yeah, you cast Gnome against Snake. No, you don't. You cast Sylphid against the Snake. Joe wasn't happy with the damage output, so he abandons that. Neo, dragging a Sprite corpse across the finish line, finally takes down the Wind Dragon. And will be rewarded with another character and another element and his first seed. And the axe. Just all sorts of great stuff. Eventually. He'll have to go get it. So yeah, Joe is headed back to the front. Of the forest, and is going to be going through the Haunted Forest to get to LNA's. And right now, the boy is looking on horrified as the Sprite and the girl just get lit up by these red drops. Neo taking a look through everything. Let's see. 2 power wrists? Why not 3? Why not just go ahead and get 3? Oh, I don't know if that's worth it. See, here's the thing. Yeah, you can get items from Neko just the same as you would in the normal game, but also just the same, it's double the price that you would get at a normal place. So unless you are strapped for time, it's just not worth it. But he you know, maybe it will be. He picks up a couple of fairy walnuts and then moves on, knocks down the barrier, and is headed towards LNA's castle. Neo does decide to pick up 3 power wrists and is now headed into the Pandora Castle to get the rest of his checks. Get these, he's pushing these NPCs out of the way. Excuse me, coming through. I'm the hero. Give me space. All right. So Neo will be picking up the boy, the axe, Gnome, and the Wind Seed all in this drop, which is going to be so nice. Here we go. All right, Joe is now inside of the castle itself. Opens up the bridge and heads towards the back half of the castle. Getting stopped by some of these annoying chairs. Oh, there we go. The Neo shows us that the axe is dragon damage and adds strength. So it's nice, nice level 1 axe to have on hand. Joe will also be getting a hint from the doll on the table. still gives a hint. Even though hints are disabled, I'm pretty sure that it still gives, this particular NPC gives a hint. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't, and he knows more than I do about playing with disabled hints. All right, Neo casts Speed Up and just rockets himself into more turtles. Oh my gosh, another snake! Oh man, Joe sees another snake here and is going, well, no, not gnome. Not no. We learned last time. That's dealing no damage. Yeah. It casts gnome. So he's going to drop a couple of dark forces instead. And the axe does dragon damage. Wow, that just does nothing. Yeah. Oh man, these, so, I mean, it's, I mean, maybe this is eventually going to be the play, but right now they're just so under-equipped. They just don't have any, now, they don't have access to a lot of, neither runner has access to a lot of different shops. So therefore they don't have access to a wide variety of armors, but like neither of them checked, as far as I remember, the shop in Dwarf Village, you know? So Neo is on his way to a very difficult fight while Joe is staying here and committed. I mean, this is such a long way to get here. Like, yeah, you could save and quit and rope out of the castle and then rope out of the forest and be back at Guy's Navel. But it's such a huge time sink. You know, it's one of those like, I'm already here. I just keep trying this fight and hope that I get it correctly. You know, that I'm able to take this guy out. That's the other thing. Joe still has that level 2 javelin that he's using. There we go. Now he sees that 84 pop up. That should be a hint. I mean, I'm trying to think. No, he didn't look at it. Neo looked at it. I forget. One of them looked at it. It happens left and right of the screen for me. Like, it's still just in front of me. Somebody looked at the axe in the settings and saw that it was strength and dragon. But anyway, Joe has figured out from context clues that the axe was dealing a lot of damage to the dragon worm, so he's going to continue trying to do that. But right now is pinned down, taking just a lot of damage, trying to keep everybody alive. And Neo is almost to the castle himself. The girl dies trying to bring these characters back to life, and the sprite is moogled and shrunk and can't cast, even though Joe just used a... Oh, now the sprite can cast. Use the sprite. The sprite is no longer moogled. Oh, keep the sprite away. Oh, he's resetting. Okay. That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight with the setup that they have right now. Is he going to just restart it? All right. Neo has made it to the castle itself and is on his way through and is just destroying every duck in his way. All right. Joe, with his new information, found that the axe is pretty powerful. Let's see what he decides to do with this. He's first going to start off multicasting a bunch of dark forces. So, 161 damage. Decent damage. And yeah, that axe is swinging for 80. Like, oh, uh-oh. But... that is a problem. The sprite survived, so could cast again. But the girl and the boy got shrunk. Oh, and the boy's gonna die, unless he can heal the boy real fast. Switch over and do something. Nope, the boy dies. Which is not a big deal. I mean, the boy has better strength stats. So it's better to use him for physical attacks, but it's not like, oh no, the boy died and now we can't use the axe anymore. That was 3 more casts of level 2 Shade, which did some good damage. Dryad spells in a late game area. Yep, the doll still has a hint. So Joe has not pat the doll. Maybe we'll pat it on the way out, but Dryad late game may be needed. We don't know what the Grand Palace orbs are, and we won't know for quite some time. So Neo now starting his fight against this, and is doing the same thing, is throwing down Gnome against the snake. And that is a bad move. Or no, decides against it. Pulls back on that. Or did he use a Fairy Walnut? I didn't see. Alright, the tiny girl throwing down candy, keeping the sprite alive for Joe, as he desperately tries to swing the axe. Deal some nice damage with the axe. Neo, same thing. Swinging the axe at the snake's head, trying to cut it off and cut him down. The girl dies for Joe. Uh-oh. And now the sprite, luckily not taking a whole lot of damage, but, I mean, the snake just has so many different spell-like abilities at its disposal. Neo trying to slow down the snake. Tell him to take a chill pill. Luckily, the sprite's not taking a whole lot of damage from this. But he just can't get up and react. I mean, he's just getting comboed. Just getting stun locked by all these spells and abilities and stuff. Alright, finally. Oh, he's going to use his last Fairy Walnut. Okay. If he can pause the game and open up the ring menu. Uh-oh, Neo's boy gets moogled and shrunk. Alright, Joe has this and then one more cast left at his disposal. This is it, the last cast of Dark Force. And then after that, it's just swinging away and hoping. Alright, not a lot of damage. So he's just got to keep the sprite unmoogled and unshrunk. And keep swinging that axe, because these abilities are not doing a whole lot of damage, which is nice. Oh my gosh! Joe takes down the Dragon Worm, has to be so thrilled with that. Neo's still fighting a big battle over here, the Bow Orb. And then we'll get 2 drops. The characters not getting respawned, I guess, until he talks to Elena. Or maybe it just doesn't happen with this particular boss fight. Yeah. What are we getting for all this Sylphid magic? Okay. And the Flammie Drum. Wow. Okay. This was the answer. Wow. Horrible. Well, that's nice. Joe could go somewhere, take his 2 ghost friends to go take a nap and revive them. Neo's still keeping all 3 of his characters alive right now. I think he's used up all of his magic. And is just trying to stay in range to use that axe. But, oh, there's a big combo right there. It's not great. Pausing on the boy. Alright, Joe has come to Matango and is going to do some shopping now that he has some money and some access. Yeah, go ahead and get something. Well, Raccoon Cap could also get Silktail if he doesn't want to spend as much money. So he's going to get 2 Silktail caps. Okay. Uh-oh. All of Neo's entire party gets shrunk. The girl dies. And gets a stone thrown at the ghost. Wow. Rude. Joe also picking up a Raccoon Cap for the boy. Neo's sprite goes down, so that's 2 characters dead. So all he's got left is the boy and a dream. The boy's going to be taking extra damage from all of these spell casts, which is unfortunate, just because he has lower magic resistance. All right, what is our check here at Matango? A Spirit Orb. And Joe not respawning. Whoop. Oh, wait. Now he is. Okay. He's going, oh, all right. This is a pretty affordable area. Neo, insult to injury. The boy dies and also gets a boulder shoved on his face. So he's taking a death now at the Dragon Worm. That's rough. That's a rough fight. He's going to do it again. He's coming back. He's saying, same thing. I'm here. I've got to get this done. All right, Joe taking a little time to equip his newly revived allies with hats. I bought you these fancy hats. Please enjoy them, and may they keep you alive. All right, here comes Neo's second attempt against the Dragon Worm. And Joe now takes the skies on the back of his dragon, and let's see where he decides to go. Turtle Island, get the freebie here from the Sea Hairtail Salesman. Free seed. All right, neat, thanks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's more magic damage, especially with Joe, and hopefully, in the near future, Neo, finding Sylphid at this fight. Joe now heading to the lighthouse to go talk to Picard. Just going through his freebies that he has access to now that he has Flammie. Alright, up on top of the tower, what do we have here? Oh my gosh, there's Lumina. Alright, that's access to Earth Palace. They don't have the whip, they don't have the Earth Seed, so not a big deal. But Lumina, so another spell to cast, which is nice. And also gives another elemental that may be necessary to get through the Grand Palace. Joe thinking, and is going to land in the Ice Country on his way to go to Santa's house to get the freebie there. Neo's Sprite is down, boy is shrunk and moogled. Girl is desperately trying to undo stuff. Alright, Joe is actually, no, first landing and fighting the Dragon Lizard. Okay, biting Lizard, whatever it's called. Whatever the name of it is. And trying to decide what to cast against it. Snapdragon, that's what it is. Fierce Salamander doesn't have Salamando, but he has a lot of other stuff at his disposal. So might as well throw down. Also has another seed, so let's see what kind of damage level 2 Dark Force gives us. Neo, now it's just the boy versus the snake, and he just needs to dish out some good damage. That did a lot of damage right there, but the Snapdragon will be able to heal up a little bit. But at least got it down far enough in its fight cycle to warrant it wanting to heal itself. And he goes, right, I have the girl. I can do a couple of casts of Lucent Beam as well. Why not? Throw that down. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So Joe now gets the lizard. That's his third and final cast of healing. And gets him pinned in the corner. There it is. Okay, Snapdragon goes down for Joe. He will get a Spear Orb and then something out of the furnace. Neo's trying to keep this boy alive in this snake fight. Nothing. Well, dang. Oh, it wasn't a particularly time-consuming fight. So that's nice for Joe. And he's probably headed to, let's see, where to now? It'd be good for him to buy some armor. Alright, now he's coming back to get the freebie at Santa's house. Alright, what do we have in this treasure chest? A glove orb. Not, in fact, what we've always wanted. Uh-oh. And Neo is taken out again at this Dragon Worm fight. Oh my gosh, this is rough. This is real rough. The other thing is that, like, the Dragon Worm is weak to Sylphid and is blocking your access to Sylphid. That's just garbage. And it looks like Neo is going to run back in. Joe has now come to Southtown. Let's see what Mara has for us this seed. God, Mara consistently giving us nothing. Awesome. Is Neo... Yeah, Neo looks like he's just gonna level things up, I guess. Is trying to get enough mana, I guess. A large enough mana pool so that the Sprite can cast in additional time, I guess. I don't know. But he keeps running back and forth to kill these ducks on the stairs. I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to get one more level for the Sprite. Joe has now come to the Northtown Ruins and is on his way to the left-hand balcony chest. And our first chest is a Spear Orb. Man, all of these Spear Orbs. So many Spear Orbs. Alright, Joe headed back in. Now to go to the right-hand side. Maybe also trying to get the, yeah, just trying to get everybody leveled up. To get extra magic. I did not see what Joe picked up. Let me see what I have matched up with him. Was it a seed? No. Was it magic? No. I don't see anything really standing out. It may have just been money, or it may have been nothing. I do not know. I don't see anything, like I said, kind of standing out on his tracker. So yeah, I'm going to assume it wasn't anything super important. Possibly more money. All right, Neo's third fight against the Dragon Worm here. Joe, there's the Dryad Seed and a Whip Orb. All right, so that's a seed that Joe, he could turn that in. He could turn into the Wind Seed. Could potentially turn in the Fire Seed right now. Well, no, he doesn't have the Whip. Alright, and Joe is now on his way to fight whatever boss is at Metal Mantis, and then pick up the free chest in the dungeon afterwards. Neo still on his... trying to exact his revenge on the Dragon Worm. And we have a vampire, just a vampire, not Buffy. Alright. Gonna take a little look at how much health we have. A little under 1,000 total health. Now is not the time to cast Shade. Use something else. Now's the time to like level up Sylphid. But Lucent Beam, a couple of casts of Lucent Beam will deal some good damage as well. Let's see how much we got here. Wow, that's about half of the vampire's remaining health. So that's a good blast. Yeah, both of these runners just need... Like, Joe has access to... The world now needs to get armor so badly. He's just getting stomped. And Neo also having difficulty. Doesn't have the same access that Joe has, since he is trying to beat the boss that is going to give him access to the Flammie Drum. But, you know, all this money just kind of burning a hole in their pocket. They need to use it up. Alright, now the Sprite gets moogled and shrunk. The girl is dead. The boy is only at like 2/3 health. Oh, man. What a bottleneck this fight is for the rest of the seed. Sprite is down for Joe, but no, he cast all of his magic with the girl. Oh, okay, I was about to say. Unfortunately, didn't use... I don't think he used any of the magic from the Sprite on this fight. Could have at least cast, like, Silence a bunch of times to level up Sylphid, or Dispel Magic to level up Shade. Like, at least dump something early on. A Whip Orb and a Whip Orb. So double Whip Orb, and then also here is the drop. Neo is down to pretty much just the boy. Trying to keep the Sprite alive. Alright, what is our dungeon chest here? Okay, there's the whip. So Joe, now would be a good time to go to the Grand Palace and just see what is required. Since you don't have hints, you have 4 of the elementals, and the whip and a cutting weapon, and all 3 characters. Yeah, and that looks like Where's he headed right now? Going back to Pandora. Is he gonna go shopping? Alright, gonna check out the shop. So Joe does have hats and rings. He has something in every slot, but he just needs upgraded armor right now, is the big thing. Picking up a third power wrist for the boy. But he just needs upgraded body armor. Neo landing a hit with that dragon axe. And then getting pelted in the face for about a third of his remaining health. Ugh. Yeah, it's just... Especially fighting a snake in this particular area is... I mean, you don't have a whole lot of movement to get away from it. You don't have a whole lot of movement to set yourself up in its diagonal movement to, like get ready to take a swing when it passes by. You know, when you fight in a big open area, when you fight a snake... Oh my gosh! Oh, thank goodness. Neo takes out... Good! Neo takes down the dragon worm. Gets a bow orb. He's going to be picking up... Here, I'll go and mark it. He's going to be picking up Sylphid. He's going to be picking up the Flammie Drum. He's going to be picking up happiness and joy and hope and dreams. There's Sylphid. Yeah. Nice. All right. Now the game can start for him. Joe has come to Taznica to fight the Dark Stalker, who is played by a, whatever it's called, an eye spy. There it is. And some sort of eye, who's spawning fish monsters, water thugs. Moogle Belt, okay. That's nice. Can undo Moogling, can use that to dodge damage. Neo, for the first time, takes to the skies on the back of his dragon and is just thrilled. Let's see what he decides to do. He's coming back to Potos. And he's going to revive his allies. And if he decides to drop down and fight the boss here at Mantisant, fight Kettlekin, or Kilroy, my bad, Kilroy, he will get the Light Seed. So... Joe coming back to Matango to do some shopping. Oh, yeah, and has Neo checked the... Joe just buys a bunch of walnuts. Fill me up on walnuts. Neo does the same thing. Fill me up on candies and cups of wishes. I'm trying to remember if Neo has decided to check the sword pedestal. I know that Joe did. Alright, yeah, Neo is going to go through and get all of his freebies. He's on his way to the lighthouse right now. So Joe bought some fairy walnuts and is now headed to the Wind Palace, turning the Wind Seed. Let's see what our boss is here. While Neo on his side climbs up. We have Buffy. All right. So weakness to Lumina again. Going to be a stronger boss. Still only about 1,000 health, but is has just stronger stats. Neo picking up the Fire Seed and Lumina from the Sea Hare Tail Salesman and Picard, respectively. Here comes another Lucent Beam, or here comes the barrage of Lucent Beams, I guess, from Joe. Potentially his second one. I was watching Neo, so I think that Joe probably used a fairy walnut there, which is a good choice. Hey, you have them. You know, you spend all that money on it, use it to quickly take down the boss. Neo landing at Ice Country, and is going to go get the chest from Santa's house. All right, this is our first seed turn-in. And this gives Joe a chance to sit and level up if he wants to. Level up his weapons. Or, his magic, which he will do. He also picks up another seed. So, cool. A 5th level that he can spec everything up to, as well as another seed that he can go turn in. This is a check we're seeing on Neo's side that Joe did not do, which is the freebie check in Ice Palace. The boy getting stopped and petrified, trying to get through all of these basilisks. All right, what do we have here in Ice Palace? It is a whip orb, not the whip itself. Yeah, Joe taking a little bit of time to level up some spells here, which I think is a great idea. You're already here. You've got 5 seeds. Like, take a couple of minutes and just spam stuff. Neo now coming to the Empire and is about to get disappointed by Mara and get the shaft. Nothing. Dang. Looks like he's going to go check the shop, though, which I think is smart. Go ahead and see if you can pick up some body armor. Oh, no. Neo just makes a hard save. Wait, is he about to... What is he doing? Oh, he was like, where's the shop? Oh, right, the shop is on the 2nd floor. Here. It's weird. All right. So Joe's now done with leveling up weapons and is deciding where he wants to go. Oh, man, this is the place to come. You've got tiaras, you've got hoods, you've got... I mean, okay, never mind. That stuff's a little expensive. A little out of your price range right now. But late in the game, maybe you come here. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Not as exciting as I initially thought. I think I was just happy to see somebody go into a shop and look at the armor. Joe has now come to the Sunken Continent, and, I mean, has the Dryad Seed, has the whip, has a lot that he can do. Neo now landing at the Northtown Ruins, and is going to get the 2 chests on the balcony. Maybe dive the 3rd chest. We'll see. Well, he's diving the 3rd chest first. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do this before. But I guess you can do that and then rope out if you don't want to continue forward. Instead, everybody's on fire, and it's a problem. Ugh. Got clapped in the hallway. All right. What do we have here at Sunken Continent? It is the gold key. All right. And Joe has the light seed from defeating Kilroy. So that is something that he can go turn in. Also could just go and get a freebie right now. Also could go there and check out that shop. That may push him towards, you know, checking out to see what they have there. But Joe is going to push on through the Sunken Continent. Neo, meanwhile, is just having trouble. There was the Embermen and now Tsunamis. It's all of these goop monsters that are stopping him in his tracks. Joe headed into the Hydra fight. Let's see who we have here. It is a nice, easy fight against the Tonpole and the Pakun Dragon. Joe firing off some high-level Dark Force. This guy is getting stuffed. Yeah, big damage. Should be causing it to transform. There we go. And now we're in phase 2 of the fight. This should go equally as fast. Big damage there. However, this boss can still heal. All right, Neo has made it back to the button. Joe switching, the sprite has been gobbled up, switches to the girl, and fires off a couple of high-level lucid beams. All right, now the lizard decides to take a moment to heal up. All right, lizard down, and Neo's about to get this back chest. We got a boomerang orb and a javelin orb, and then from the back chest, Neo gets 800 bucks. That's it. So now I assume he's going to go and do the 2 chests in the front. Yeah, going back in, left-hand side. All right. And Joe is not going any further in the undersea area right now. I was just checking out that chest and that first boss. And yeah, here we go. Okay, now into the Grand Palace itself. Oh my gosh, Neo getting... Everything is terrible right now. We have 2 of the Embermen that got petrified. Everybody got caught on fire. 2 characters are dead. Joe... going, oop, wait, roping back out. I didn't check to see what's on the ground floor. My bad. Forgetting about those 2 chests on the ground floor. He's so ready to go upstairs. He's so ready to climb. Neo taking a reset here and is running back in. Our first room is Lumina in the Grand Palace. All right, Neo makes it up the stairs past the Embermen after casting a spell to slow them down. That is the first orb done for Joe. 6 to go. Also Lumina. Okay. Man, Neo's just having some rough times with these Embermen, but finally makes it up there and gets a spear orb for his troubles. Calls Flammie. Is he... And so instead of roping... Okay, gotcha. So instead of going back in and using magic rope, he just decides to go up and back down. All right, good luck. He's got to get... Well, sorry, couldn't help you. He gets stopped on the stairwell. All right, Joe has unlocked the first 2 orbs here in the Grand Palace. And now is going to confidently climb up. And with the whip, can go ahead and at least get the chest. If he can't continue unlocking orbs, he can at least get the chest. That is on the 3rd floor. Gnome. All right, this one is unlockable. So that's 3 orbs accessible. Neo on his way to the right-hand side. He's about to pick up his last chest here. No, gnome again. All right, 600 bucks. So far, okay, so we had 2 Luminas on the bottom level, and now 2 gnome. So only 3 orbs left. I mean, maybe it's all just stuff that we have right here. No, what's going to happen? We're going to run into something that's like Salamando, and you're going to get stopped. And you're going to have to go out in the world and find something. There's a bow orb. All right. Neo has come to Northtown now and is actually going to shop. Still no decent, like, body armor that we found so far. A lot of late game stuff. Power armor and, cockatrice cap. Alright, Joe opens the portcullis and is going to check orb number 5. Sylphid. He has that. Alright. Neo taking a nap and reviving his characters. There's 5 orbs down. Only 2 to go. Neo going through and putting some of his some armor on. Shade. All right, there's 6. Oh my gosh. Are we good to go right now? There's no way. This is 100% me playing the seed. As I get here, and I go, okay, that's 6, and then I climb up to the top, and I see like Dryad, and it's just despair. We're hitting the 1 hour mark, and Joe may be in go mode right now, which means Neo is also in go mode, except for the whip. Neo doing a little bit of shopping, leveling up the sword, gets Luna damage, and Luna damage, and trash. Plastic fork. It'll probably break after the first use. Oh my gosh. Garbo weapon. Thanks for nothing, Moppleton. Alright. Oh, Joe, wait, you gotta go do the last... Yeah, okay, he remembers. He's getting a little ahead of himself. Alright, fingers crossed for Joe. Thoughts and prayers. Neo is now on his way to the Northtown Castle to get some freebies there. Alright, moment of truth. What is our 7th and final orb? Lumina? Sylphid. Alright! Well, cool. There's a whip orb and the Dryad seed for Neo. Alright, so Joe, yeah, Joe's in go mode. Now, he has several bosses to fight before he can go anywhere. He has to fight the boss at Snapdragon. He has to fight the boss at Hexus. He has to fight the boss at Mech 3. So he has a bunch of stuff to do before he really unlocks things. Neo picking up the whip. Alright, so Neo is now in go mode. Uh-oh! It's... Oh no, this is an awful boss to have here. Fire, Gygus. They don't have Undine. But I mean, he has level 4 Shade. Could at least throw down. Oh, he hasn't leveled up, right? He's been using his stuff to get through. He has a few. Hold on, wait, calm down. It's cool, everybody, be calm. He's got a few Fairy Walnuts that he can cast a couple of rounds of Dark Force or something like that. Neo, now having the whip and everything else. All right, so he has come to the Sunken Continent and first goes in to fight these bosses to get him out of the way before diving down. That was about a little over a third of the boss's health from that burst right there. So we got both of our, after a long convergence, our long divergence, now we have a convergence of our runners fighting the same boss at the same time. Unfortunately, Neo is not as prepared for this fight since he has not turned in the Wind Seed and used that to level things up. Also only has 3 seeds on him. But he has everything he needs. He has all the elements that he needs in order to unlock the fight against the Mech 3. So oh my gosh. Joe's Gygus has 170 health left. Let's see, Lucent Beam, level 5. Will this at least do 170 damage? Yes, okay. Whew. That could have been a rough fight, but luckily Joe has taken some time to level up his abilities at Wind Palace. Neo's still throwing down. Luckily, another thing that's really nice is having all the characters on screen. Split damage, casting, drastically reduces how much damage each person takes. An Axe Orb is the reward, and Joe pushes forward, can turn in the Dryad Seed. Nothing. No. Double nothing? Fuck off. That sucks. Hey, it's Mech Rider. Okay, it's Baby Mech. It's Scooty Puff Jr. This should be an easy fight for Joe. Neo's still fighting against the Fire Gygus here. Loads up the Sprite yet again with another Fairy Walnut. Whoever's taking that Fire Blast is gonna get cooked. Yep. Sprite is getting burned alive right now. Quick, throw a radish in the fire. Cast again before anything goes off. Alright, Joe takes down the Rider very quickly. And Neo is trying to keep the Sprite alive by just having them cast perpetually. All right, what rewards do we have here for Joe? A boomerang orb and a sword orb. Neo uses another fairy walnut and takes down the fire Gygus. Nice. All right, and here at Mech 3 we have another fire boss. This one's not as bad. We've got Axebeak, 700 health. All right, so that seemed like the big boss fight right there, was fighting against fire Gygus. So it looks like our runners are pretty close to each other. Neo still needs to go and do the Grand Palace. It looks like he's just a boss fight behind, but he still needs to go through the Grand Palace. Turning in the Dryad Seed and getting the double nothing. Ugh, just gross. All right, Neo's fight against the Mech Rider. And Joe's been doing some good damage against this Axebeak. Should be going... There it is. There it is. I was about to say, should be going down very soon. And the answer is yes. Very soon indeed. All right. Joe is ready to go to the Mana Fortress. Gets a Javelin Orb and an Axe Orb. All right. And has money. So how ready is he, though? You know, and the other thing is, you know, 5 seeds, enough seeds to take down the Mana Beast. Neo taking down the Mech Rider. We'll see what Joe decides. But the other thing is surviving to the Mana Beast. You know, still does not have good armor. Neither of our runners have particularly good armor. Neo picking up a Boomerang Orb and a Sword Orb, and is headed back to the surface. Yeah, Joe just buying a bunch of Fairy Walnuts, and is saying, good enough for me, boss man. Maybe level up a weapon? No, he's just going to take it like a nap and save. Alright, Neo has the Zoomies, thanks to Gnome, and is headed south, or down, rather. Let's see what he decides to do. And Joe, yeah, buys Fairy Walnuts and takes a nap and goes, all right, cracks his knuckles, heads up into space. That's it. All right, Neo is now on his way to completing the Grand Palace, and he has everything he needs. Hopefully he has enough magic to get through everything, enough mana. Yeah, I cannot believe that Joe is just like, let's just go for it. Like, maybe it'll work out, but I can't believe he's just like, you know what, I'm good to go to the end of the game. I'm good to fight the last boss, no problem. I've leveled up Shade. I've got a pocket full of nuts. Like, what else do I need? Armor? Nah. Armor's for people that die. I don't do that. Oh man, all right, here's Neo's, I think, second unlock with Lumina in the basement. Joe shoves this rooted I Spy out of the way. Alright, yeah, that's 2 orbs done for Neo. 5 to go, and he has the ability to do them all, so that's good. Oh my gosh, that goblin woke up and just got murked. Just got blown up on Joe's side. Joe's about to come into his first boss fight here in the Mana Fortress. Neo hitting his first Gnome Orb, and there will be a second one on the same floor. Thunder Gygus, weak versus Gnome, but also has a lot of stats. So we'll see how this fight goes. 1,300 health is pretty hefty, but if Joe starts throwing Gnome, then, yeah, there he gets Thundergeist fears Gnome, and he goes, cool, I have that. I have Gnome. Oh, he has level 0 Gnome. It'll get there. Give him a second. So we're looking to deal 1,300 damage. We've dealt about 400. About 500. So, decides to use a Fairy Walnut, and the boss is below half health at this point, which is good. Sprite takes a big hit. Oop. And Neo having some Rabbite troubles. There we go. Unlocks the portcullis and is going to get orbs number 5 and 6. Picks up a bow orb. Why not? It's just there. Alright, down goes Thundergeist for Joe. Three bosses left in his run. Let's see what he picks up. What does he get rewarded with here? A boomerang orb. Oh boy. Alright. Back to the sprint. Neo getting rudely stopped by some green drops. And deciding, instead of just running away from that, just, you know, giving him what for. Just blowing him up. I'll show you. I'll teach you to stop me. Oh, stop that owl. Don't get that owl to do nothing to you. Alright, here comes boss number 2 in the Mana Fortress for Joe. It is the Dread Slime. And Neo is unlocking his 6th orb here with Sylphid. 1,400 health. Dread Slime fears shade. Throw some shade, baby. Alright, 6 orbs down for Neo. 1 to go at the top. And Joe will be rinsing through this Dread Slime. Don't multicast too much. Gotta give it a little breathing room, otherwise you get trip 9s, which is nice, but you don't want to overcast. You don't want to overserve your customer. Pain. Alright, Dread Slime goes down very quickly for Joe. He is 2 bosses away from finishing the game. Neo has a good bit of seed left to play. Alright, here's his 7th and final orb. Joe, what do we get here? After our Dread Slime fight. An Axe Orb. Nothing useful. Hoping for maybe another seed. Or maybe Luna going through. Or even finding Dryad. Dryad was the only hint that we got from the doll. Dryad is late game. You know, that would have been great if Dryad was here, and then you could go, oh cool. Well, I'll just use that. I'll just do that against the Mana Beast. I'll use my level 0 sword with mana sword power and just slap him down, I guess. Alright, so Neo has already taken out the 2 bosses that are in his way. He just needs to run to the back of the Grand Palace and fight Axebeak. Another thing, does Joe have... I know he has Fairy Walnuts. He loaded up on Fairy Walnuts. Does he have any Cups of Wishes? I guess he does. Because all I saw was him buy... No, it looks like he doesn't. So he's got to keep people... Oh my gosh, he's come here with not much in the realm of healing or recovery of any kind. He's just got to like YOLO it. Oh, keep the Sprite alive. Trying to go between rooms. Alright, so this is the final checkpoint. This is like it. So Joe just kind of has to get through it. What do we got? Oh my gosh, we got the watermelon again. He's been liking showing up here in the Lich fight a lot lately. I don't know if this is just like coincidence or if this is something that this is one of the few arenas that this boss functions well in, and so he will show up here a lot. Uh-oh, Joe, no. Well, the Sprite just kind of nukes themselves. Uh-oh, this is gonna be a big number. Blap, dead. And the girl is getting put to sleep. Yeah, Joe goes, I only have one candy left. I can't let that happen, yeah. Neo, shoots the bird out of the air like a clay pigeon and is ready to go to the end of the game. Oh, Joe gets the evil gate off before the watermelon can cast a wall. Resets again. I guess doesn't feel good about it. There's a javelin orb and an axe orb. And let's see what Neo decides to do before going to the mana fortress. He has the entire mana fortress behind Joe right now, but Joe has hit a brick wall with this fight, it seems. Here's Dark Force level 5. Let's see what this does. $271. I didn't see what the health was, but it's probably pretty big on this boss. Uh-oh. Well, wall got cast and the girl got nuked. Not great. Neo has come to the dwarf village, maybe to level up weapons and look for some armor. The girl eats the last candy and goes, I'm fine. It'll be fine. Neo going, nah, the last thing I got was that plastic fork. I'm not leveling up any weapons. Ain't worth it. I'm not gonna do it. Joe dispels the wall and throws down a couple more dark forces. Chain vests. All right, that's something. That's something of an upgrade for Neo. Could also pick up 2 golem rings, but not 3. Can also spend the rest of it getting consumables, or could get all 3 silver bands. Also, I feel not a good call. All right, Joe locks in, dealing some damage here against the watermelon. Wall goes off and watermelon goes down. All right, Joe is now ready to fight the mana beast, and Neo is getting dressed. All right, here comes our fight against the Mana Beast. Uh-oh. That gets punted back. No, it didn't. Never mind. Not yet. Not yet. All right, more evil gates being cast by Joe, and Neo is on his way where? To Northtown. Okay. And Joe doesn't do enough damage and decides to reset and do this fight against the watermelon again. He's right there. Oh, this is just so tough, but he's come here just a little, I feel just a little underprepared. Neo's taking his time, getting everything, loads up on, gets some new armor. I mean, not great armor, but gets some new armor. Gets some fairy walnuts. And Joe just underprepared and a little overconfident with what he has equipped and what he has, the stuff that he has available. Joe dispelling magic. Neo, where's Neo going? What are you doing? Oh, he's come here to level up Shade before going topside. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, he's just come here to, like, it happened to be where he stopped to look for armor and buy stuff. So instead of, he hasn't turned in the wind seed. He also only has 3 seeds. All right, Joe continuing to nuke down the watermelon. Oh! Sped to the right, intending to absolutely demolish the Sprite, and just blew apart. That was great. All right, that's the second kill that Joe has had against the watermelon, and he is now headed into his next attempt at the Mana Beast, and Neo has landed on the Mana Fortress. Has a long way to go here. I mean, Joe should have the firepower right now. How many? He has 4 fairy walnuts. Oh, but that's the thing. He only. So here's something. He can only cast Evil Gate twice, and then he has to use a fairy walnut. This is one of those where it's like, I would go and try and like level up the Sprite until you have 15 magic. Because only casting 2 per walnut is just, it's just not, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, Evil Gate level 5 is powerful, but only getting 2 casts, you go and fight some enemies, you level up a couple of times, you get 50% more Evil Gates. You go from being able to cast 2 per fairy walnut to 3. It's insane. It's an insane increase in power and fairy walnut efficiency. I've done that before. I've had seeds that I've played before where I've gotten here and I've had 13 or 14 magic on the Sprite. And I've gone, hold on a second. Let me go slap some people around and get the Sprite up a level or 2 so that I can have 15 magic. So I can have a multiple of 5. But Joe is putting in the work and is getting some good damage done. I just don't know if it's going to be enough with the stuff that he has. He has 1 fairy walnut left. All right, here comes Neo's first boss fight. This is against the Thunder Gigas, so he just needs to start throwing some gnome. All right. And this is the thing. If this doesn't do it for Joe, these last 2 casts... Oh, that's so frustrating. Does he have anything else he can throw? And he has no healing items. He has 1 candy. He has no cups of wishes. The girl doesn't have any healing. Doesn't have. I mean, the girl could, I guess, cast. Oh, that's big damage. Yeah, he's not going to survive another wave of that. I guess the girl could cast Lucid Barrier, and I would let them. Okay, good. Yeah, he's popped back out. Joe has roped out to the front. Oh my gosh. Oh no. That sucks. I mean, here's the thing. In the predicament that he's in right now, this is the only move you have. This is a smart move. It's that or like fight enemies and level up. Neo takes down the whatever it was. The Thunder Gigas very handily. Okay. We're on the left side of the screen right now. That's where the drama is. Joe comes back to load up on items. Is that all he's buying? Just spent. What are you gonna save your money for? You gotta put in your 401ks. Buy everything. Buy. Okay, he's gonna like get cups of wishes. Get chocolate. You get 7 chocolate and 7 candy. Even if your characters don't have 250 health, if you have the money and you're not spending it on anything else, that's another 7 revives. That's another 7 heals, you know? It doubles your survivability. Neo has now gotten to the Dread Slime, which will go down pretty quickly. Only level 3 Evil Gate, but still. You know, you don't have to go out necessarily and hunt for armor, but if you have that kind of money, just buy all of the consumables. Load up. Joe did spend walnuts getting through these fights with these other bosses. So now he just has to walk through. But the problem is also now, in fighting those bosses and leveling himself up, the enemies are going to be tougher. They're going to be dealing more damage. They're going to be hitting more frequently. They're going to be possibly freezing him and stunning him and setting him on fire and everything like that more easily. So he's got to be very careful going through here. All right, Neo has taken down the Dread Slime. Now, Joe doesn't have to hit any of the buttons. Here's the thing, it's a smart move. Like, the other move, like I said, is to fight enemies right outside the door and level up the Sprite. Okay, yeah, he's stopping and fighting some enemies. I think he's thought about this now, like, maybe I can take out some people and level things up. Yeah, okay, so he has thought of the same thing now. Joe is, well, you can't damage that eye now. Some of the enemies, when they're unconscious, pose or animation, they can't take damage. So yeah, it looks like Joe is going to be fighting some enemies along the way to try and level up the Sprite. Neo, making his way through the fortress, is going through the last little bit of maze here. That pumpkin was full of bones! That's pretty rough. Alright, Joe has made his way back to the Buffy arena. And is trying to find some enemies that he can easily take out and put to sleep with that. I think it's the axe has nap time qualities. Alright, Neo has 4 fairy walnuts on him. And a full range of other consumables. He's about to start his fight. He's going to be dropping in and getting rudely shown the business of the watermelon. Quickly start firing stuff off. So Neo is, well, lower level even than Joe. Also has fewer seeds, so has a lower level possible total, a lower possible maximum level of magic spells. So we'll see what he can deal with here. Oh, good damage from that sword swing. So, Neo's taking... Okay, big crit there. Did he pick up Luna, or did he just get a good crit? Is that like a Luna... Oh, it may be a Luna sword. Right, this may be a Luna sword. Yeah, so he's dealing good physical damage against the watermelon, since it is a Dryad enemy. It takes extra damage from Luna. So that's nice, that he doesn't have to rely on spellcasting. And the Sprite's getting comboed right now, and he's just letting it happen while he continues to get level 2 attacks in. Okay, this is working for Neo, sure. Joe, unfortunately, has slept the... Oh my gosh, Neo just uses the sword. Just uses the weapon. Hey, that mana sword that's like, you know, the important MacGuffin of the whole game. Uh-oh, Sprite's almost dead. You didn't buy any... No healing! Joe, why do you have no healing? This is blowing my mind. He's desperately needs a level up, is what he needs. Because if the Sprite dies, he just has to reset and start back from another spot. There we go. Okay, finally! Sprite leveled up. Alright, here comes Neo's fight. His first attempt at the Mana Beast, and is just starting to throw down evil gates. Only level 3, but it's still going to deal some good damage. And he has how many Fairy Walnuts? But he also has a Luna weapon. While he won't be able to buff it up with Dryad magic, while he won't be able to buff it up with Luna and get crits, he can still use Speed Up from Gnome and get some fast charges in. So that is a possibility. Uh-oh, Evil Gate didn't proc for Neo. There it is. All right, Joe has made his way back to the watermelon. Hopefully the Sprite levels up from this fight, because the Sprite only has 14 magic. Joe did get a full array of Fairy Walnuts. So that'll be good against the Mana Beast fight. So he's going to drop a bunch of magic here, a bunch of damage. 850. Neo throws down some Lucid Barriers on his crew. Oh, Joe remembers. Oh yeah, the girl can cast spells. All right, that I think is all the damage blocked. Neo, you may need to recast. Oh! Okay, that's not that. It always looks so bad when Watermelon goes scooting across the screen like that. Oh, some good damage there from casting Lucid Beam and the Dark Force. All right, Watermelon goes down, and Joe is now back with the Sprite leveled up another time or two. Maybe the Sprite will level up here and get to that 15 magic. But also has a full set of Fairy Walnuts, and that's the big thing, is that he can just like start throwing stuff down. The Sprite does not level up, which means the Sprite also does not get magic back. Ugh, that's tragic. But he has plenty of Fairy Walnuts. So still, he's only going to get a couple casts. Now, that being said, he could at least do like 2 Evil Gates and throw like a Dark Force. Like, at least use all of your magic up. Neo throwing down some last Evil Gates here before he gets locked out. Also, just why not throwing some Sylphid down. The boy, luckily, having a Luna weapon and is able to deal some damage. So now Joe is starting his fight against the Mana Beast. 1,000 health left on Neo's Mana Beast. Let's see what he can do with the boy, who is juiced and ready to deal some damage. Okay, well, level 2 attack is dealing 100 damage. That's nice. Oh, man. Okay, so long as the dragon doesn't... The Mana Beast doesn't, target the boy, the Sprite goes down. Sprite gets obliterated. Alright, he will have to wait for a second, uh-oh. He doesn't have a way to block this. He can cast, he has, Neo has candies and stuff, though. So he can at least bring the Sprite back and everything like that. Joe casting some more Evil Gate and just leaving 4 mana out in the dust. Could at least cast Dark Force or something. I know it won't do much, but it's something like... It's the same thing with not using all of your money when you're about to go to the Mana Beast. Like, go ahead and load up on everything. If you stop at a shop, load up on all these consumables. But in the same vein, like, if you have 3 or 4 mana sitting around, yeah, you can't cast another Evil Gate, but you can at least deal some damage, you know? As long as it's, like, not, you know, more than 1 is helpful. Alright. So, Neo heals up the boy, knowing that the boy has the weapon of importance. And the Sprite and the girl get taken out Now, the problem with this, Neo should... Yeah, he has one couple wishes left. Ooh, Joe times that Lucid Barrier very well, so that it's casting while the Mana Beast is coming by, so they don't take the characters don't take damage because they're being casted upon. And then, the second pass, the Lucid Barrier eats the damage. Great timing on that. Love to see it. Neo's got to keep the boy alive. The boy has the sword! The boy has the sword! Got to keep the boy alive. Joe's still casting... He has, he's out of, Oh, Neo! I've had that happen so many times. Neo is poised to strike the Mana Beast and gets frozen. Oh my gosh, what a short... That sucks. What an extremely short rotation that was for Neo. He's got to wait again! He's got to survive another pass. Joe, before the Mana Beast has come down the first time in this, redoing the fight against the Mana Beast. Oh, that looks like it. I didn't see any red numbers. I think Joe's done. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Joe is done with the seed. Neo should be finishing up shortly. God. All right. Joe will be wrapping up with a time of 1 hour, 36 minutes even. GG's. Got here with it, just wasn't prepared. Like, was excited to be at the Mana Beast fight and go through the Mana Fortress and everything like that, but just didn't have the armor, didn't have the items, and had to back out. All right, and Neo uses his Luna Sword. The boy spins to win, takes down his Mana Beast as well. Very close fight here. Like, as far and away as Joe was in the lead, incredible that it was this close. Neo finished this with a time of 1:36.43. GG's to both runners. Yeah, very quick seed as far as getting into go mode. Or at least they did the right stuff. And that the Grand Palace only required the 4 elements that we found: Gnome, Sylphid, Lumina, and Shade. And then getting a cutting weapon on each of the characters and finding the characters very early on, getting that whip, and it's just like, all right, well, I guess let's go. Let's go to the end of the game. Yeah, just seeing the struggle against Dragon Worm in LNA's castle was horrible, especially because the Dragon Worm is weak to Sylphid, and it was blocking the Sylphid pickup. You had to defeat the Dragon Worm to get Sylphid. Ugh. And then you use that to also get the boy. And the axe. Yeah, so very quick as far as like finding everything that is necessary to beat the game, but then just going like, man, I just don't feel prepared. You know, Neo only getting 3 seeds to Joe's 5, so having much less damage output, but spending money leveling up the sword and getting a good... It was a Luna sword, I think it may have been Luna and Strength, which was necessary in order to take down the Mana Beast, as well as the Watermelon. Like, 2 bosses back-to-back at the very end that are weak to Luna damage. Very serendipitous. Very lucky that he had that. And just, you know, watching Joe just throw himself against the Mana Beast time and time again and just going like, I'm just not ready. I just don't have it. I'm here. And that's so crushing. That's happened to me before. That's happened to a lot of people. Is you get to the end of the game and the Mana Beast it can be really tough if you're not prepared. A lot of times it seems like, oh, well, okay, you have the Mana Beast. You know, you just cast Shade a bunch and it dies. Well, do you? Do you have enough Shade to cast? Yes, that is true, but do you have enough damage to put out? And Joe only having 13 mana and then 14 mana at the end on the Sprite, and only being able to cast 2 Evil Gates per Fairy Walnut, while using some Fairy Walnuts to get to the Mana Beast first, you know, has a much lower supply when he gets it the first time, backed out, went and bought a bunch of Fairy Walnuts and went, okay, let's try this again. And had to come all the way back through. It's rough. It's real rough. Yeah, it just seemed that both of the runners were a little too gung-ho with going to the end of the game and didn't spend enough time preparing for how difficult the Mana Fortress can really be. It is a slog if you are not ready for it. It's a lot of damage that you're taking. It's a lot of tight corners that you're running through with a lot of enemies. It is 4 bosses that you have to deal with, and so therefore you have to have the mana... You have to have the damage output as well as the mana availability, like the pool, a large enough pool to cast a bunch of stuff. Like it can be pretty daunting. It can be pretty rough. They got through it, so congrats on that. But like, you know, you're witnessing firsthand. Like, don't underestimate the Mana Fortress. it can really dunk on you if you don't respect it. But anyway, that's it for me. For this time. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. GG's once again to LuckwurstJoe and to NeoKenshin. If you want to check them out, I've got links to their channels down below in the description. Go and support them. Give them follows as well. Support our runners, and thanks to both of them as well for letting me rebroadcast their streams for this little mock-up race. Very thankful for all of the people in the community that allowed me to do that. And make these videos. If you would like to play the Secret of Mana Randomizer yourself, you can do so by following a link down in the description of the video to get the Secret of Mana Randomizer program and generate some seeds for yourself. If you want to join the Secret of Mana Randomizer community, there is a link to the Discord down below as well that you can come in and run the weekly seed yourself, or if you just want to have some ask some questions about general knowledge or speedrunning or randomizer tactics, there's a very knowledgeable and very friendly community that you can come and join. We'd love to see you there. Once again, thank you, the audience, for watching and for listening to me yap. And that is it for me this time. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.